It's a bit welcome. It's a bit dreary where I am coming to you from in St. Paul. I hope the sun is shining in other parts of the state and that it comes out here in the cities later today. But gosh, no better reason to cozy up with a good virtual conference, right? So we hope you have a warm, cozy beverage and can just dig into some learning today with your colleagues from around the state. Thanks to everyone who contributed their pandemic endeavors in that previous slideshow. Those were super fun to look through and put together and find some upbeat music for us all. So just a note that there are some expectations for this conference. They're not new. You've seen these before at other ATLAS events, and those are at the end of your flyer. And that we are recording most of these sessions. Everything except the coffee breaks will be recorded today, and then we'll be sharing those on the YouTube channel. So let's get going. First, let me just at least have Gail and Marisa wave at us. They have done so much work making this all happen. Gail is our senior events manager and Marisa is our operations manager. Thanks so much for all that you've done to make this day a reality. And thank you to all the hosts and co-hosts. So every session today has a tech host and a co-host in case something else needs to, some support. And of course, to all of our supplemental service providers for helping us with the content of the day and all of the presenters who during a very busy time said yes. So thank you to everybody. We have a few updates from our friends at MDE. I'm going to turn it over to Brad.
Thank you, Patsy. My name is Brad Haskamp. I'm the State Adult Education Director at the Minnesota Department of Education. So happy to be here. Happy Earth Day, everyone. And also, I would like to give a big shout out to Patsy, Marisa, Gail, Christine, all of Team Atlas, and for all of your amazing work. And this conference is just one example of your excellence. Thanks also to our adult education professional development specialist, Astrid Leiden, who works so hard with all of our professional development efforts and keep tracks of more details than I don't know what's going on in Astrid's brain, but her brain is amazing. And so I thank Astrid for all of her hard work. Let's dive into some updates here. First, we have a testing reminder. We want to make sure that you're getting your students an official and valid pre-test using CASAS, TABE, or BEST Plus. Just a reminder that all the COVID test exemptions for testing will be expired as of July 1, 2022. Which means at that point, you'll have to test all continuing students, or those students will be limited to only fewer than 12 hours for the entire year. So please make sure you get those continuing students tested if they already don't have a valid pretest. Also, just a note, students with no NRS test who attended in the months of May and June of this year, in next month and the month after, but then leave, will show up on as no level on next year's Table A. And by then those students might be gone. They might be long gone and you won't be able to test them. So make sure you're testing students now and catching all those continuing students with official valid pre-tests. Also, in terms of testing, we have some upcoming test trainings. First, there's our the test training team is doing virtual office hours. So if you have any questions about CASAS or TABE, join them virtually May 24th from 2:30 to 3:30. There's also a CASAS implementation training on Thursday, May 19th from 1 to 4 p.m. There's a TABE implementation training on Friday, May 20th from 9 o'clock in the morning until noon. So you can get those done 2 days in a row and get fully certified for the year. Also, there's recertification trainings. On Wednesday, June 22nd, you can get recertified in CASAS from 1 to 2. And you can get recertified in TABE from 2 to 3. So that's an excellent way to get recertified if you've already been certified but need to get recertified. And remember, you need to get recertified every 5 years. So make sure you check that out. Another area, again, sticking with tests, but a different type of test. Let's talk about our high Cs, or our high school equivalency assessments. We have a few updates for you. First, HiSET will tentatively be able to be offered in the state of Minnesota starting around August or September. We're working with them to pilot the test in Minnesota, but we're having a little bit of a delay as we need to do some IT work at the Minnesota Department of Education, and HiSET is switching to a new company, and that new company is not launching their version of HiSET or their logistics with HiSET until this summer. Also, we will continue to have more information for you. So from the MDE team and from the HiSET staff. So keep looking out for more information as we have it. Some next steps that we need to do in order to make HiSET a possibility here in Minnesota. In the IT work that we have to do at the Minnesota Department of Education is revising our credentialing database so that we can process data from HiSET and issue HiSET-based diplomas and transcripts. And we hope to have that work done by August. We also need to work with HiSET staff over the year to implement this whole new testing system, set up PSI HiSET test centers. PSI is the company that bought the HiSET. We need to create new policies, provide training, and do a lot of additional work. So stay tuned for additional trainings. You've seen them throughout already in many of our professional development events, and you'll see some more in this event and later on, including my session at 9:30 this morning. Also, we have a communication strategy to communicate this new test option to all of our stakeholders, K-12, post-secondary, employers, workforce development, because we want to make sure that that test and those diplomas are not questioned. So that's it for our MDE updates. I'm going to turn it back over to Patsy.
Great, thanks, Brad. So another cute little springboard for us as we think about moving forward into the next season of PD. So first of all, next week, if you have anything to do with integrated education and training, we hope you'll join us on Thursday. That's April 28th, just for the afternoon, a quick 3-hour institute where virtually, of course, where we are going to have a number of workshops and announcements and time to connect with other people in your region, and really some really important information for you around integrated education and training. So please plan to join us, and thank you to Marisa and Gail for dropping all the links in the chat. There are some more EBRI, that's evidence-based reading instruction webinars, coming up in our series of 6. We are done with 4, but still have 2 more, and you are welcome to join on the 29th or on May 20th. They are different topics each time. More information at that link that Gail just dropped for us, and CEU is available. And Maren Frank coming out of retirement to do this webinar series for us. And then it's cut off just a smidge, my apologies, but math teachers, the MCTM is the Minnesota Council of Teachers of Mathematics, is in person next Saturday on the 30th in Duluth. They have a keynote speaker, Dr. Raj Shah, and also the MCTM president, who's the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, will also be speaking, and then over 80 sessions. So if you in any way teach math, even if it's not your main role, but you teach some math and are interested in connecting with other math teachers from kindergarten through college, including, of course, adult educators who work with math, plan to come. We have some scholarships available to help with the cost of driving up and staying overnight in Duluth. So be in touch with Marisa. We can make that happen. There is still quite a few spots left. So if you are in any way interested in talking to other math people from the state, please plan to join that conference. It hasn't been in person in a little while, so we're glad to be able to sponsor some adult educators there. If you have specific questions about the conference, I recommend contacting Rebecca Strom. She's helping out while Lindsay is on maternity leave, and her email is there as well. And CCRS, it is time again for an implementation cohort. We will be kicking that off this fall, and applications will be available on Tuesday. You do apply as a team, so English person, math person, administrator, maybe a couple from each of those subject areas. And it's a several month-long cohort. We'll be doing the in-person institute in the fall, and then there'll be a virtual institute in the kind of late winter, and then some webinars and coaching in between. And we will support travel costs to those of you who need to come from a distance to that in-person work. Application will be available again on Tuesday, and it's due on June 1st. And you do apply as a team. We have a handful of webinars coming up. Let me turn things over to Astrid.
Thank you, Patsy, and good morning, everybody. I am so happy to be here with all of you. My name is Astrid Ludden, and I'm with the adult education team at the Minnesota Department of Education. I want to share a few other professional development announcements with you. So as Patsy said, we do have some other webinars coming up here. They are all listed on the ATLAS PD calendar that Gail has chatted out. We've got a teaching citizenship webinar coming up next week. Looking ahead to May, the next in our Tech Chat series using Pear Deck in the ABE classroom. And then later in May, a series of webinars focused on trauma-informed instruction. So I hope that you'll be able to join us for those and some of the other ones. And in addition, Literacy Minnesota will also be offering in June a webinar to support you in completing the annual volunteer report. So if you are involved in volunteer programming in your consortium or your site, this will be a webinar you don't want to miss to get information on how you can accurately complete that report. Go to the next slide. And just a reminder, if you miss any of our webinars, most of them are recorded and posted on our Minnesota ABE PD YouTube channel. So you can go there to see what you've missed. At some point, summer will arrive here in Minnesota. And when it does, along with that comes our ABE Summer Institute, which will be offered virtually again this year on August 17th and 18th. The call for proposals is out. They are due June 1st. And I hope that you will consider sharing your lessons learned through the past couple of years. What's been working for you? What are the innovative practices you've tried? And I hope that you'll all be able to attend and participate in that conference. I also want to let people know that we are continuing to offer certification for the teacher verification model. If you are interested in becoming certified, our next certification webinar is on June 7th. You can find out how to register for that and more information about the whole certification process on the Literacy Minnesota distance education page. We also will have a TVM session this afternoon at 2:15. So if you want to hear about the process of creating a TVM lesson, that will be an opportunity to do so. Want to make sure as we're heading into the season when people are looking at submitting their relicensure CEUs, Panda does offer a number of relicensure courses through the Literacy Minnesota online course portal. They have a new one that's just been launched, the 3 Ls, the difference between learning disability, low ability, and low literacy, that is now available, as well as a variety of courses focused on mental health. So check those out, and you can find more information on the Panda website. Coming soon, we do have a new North Star Digital Literacy Standards course that will be available in June 2022. This will be an online self-paced course through Literacy Minnesota. So an opportunity if you're new to adult basic education and want to learn more about the standards and how to integrate them in your instruction, or if you'd like a refresher, this will be a great opportunity to learn more. And at this point, I'd like to turn things over to Kaya Bergen with Literacy Action Network to tell you about an exciting project that she's been working on.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. My name is Kaya. I'm a teacher with the International Institute, and I'm also a chair for marketing and membership with LAN. And one of the things that LAN has been working on is a marketing toolkit to help support your programs throughout the state with outreach. So the goal of the toolkit is to put together a variety of materials that you can use to recruit students and also maybe inform potential referral partners. The materials are in development right now. They include planning materials for outreach and also some evaluation tools that you can use to take stock of the outreach you're already doing in person and online. There are some templates for flyers and social media posts that you can use, and some tips for digital marketing specifically. And then we also have some stock phrases that are translated into 13 languages that you can use to change your flyers and also your registration. I'm going to be talking more about the specifics of the project during the LAN marketing session in the coffee break. And I would love to talk more with everyone about what's already working for you with marketing and ways that this toolkit might fit your needs or might be adapted or added to if you are looking at this and think of other things that you'd like to see. So hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Kaya. Well, here is what we are up to today. We have our concurrent first session will begin at 9:30. Just in a few minutes here, we'll let our hosts have a moment to get their next Zoom meeting started. And then you'll have a quick break, 15 minutes there, and then we'll have a concurrent session 2, another hour-long session, and then a lunch break from 11:45 to 12:15. We all wish we were in person and had the joy of sitting and eating together, but hopefully soon. In fact, we are planning on 2 fall in-person regionals in the north and south of the state. So look forward to hearing more about those. In the meantime, enjoy your lunch. Come back to us at 12:15 for concurrent session 3, another break. And then we have those networking coffee breaks that Kaya was just mentioning before we finish up with concurrent session 4 to end the day at 3 o'clock, hopefully with butterflies. So a quick heads up, there will be times throughout the day where we will ask you to turn on your camera and unmute yourself to share your thoughts. This is an interactive conference, just like we would if you were in person. We ask that you have your first and last name in your Zoom. Looks like most people have figured that out. If you are having trouble changing your name or you're coming in as like your staff number or something, we can help you make sure you have your first and last name so we know who's here and who we're hearing from. And we do hope that you'll be ready to chime in with video if you're comfortable, and of course with your voice as we have discussions throughout the day. The event flyer, as usual, is full of magic. All of the recordings will suddenly be there after a day or 2. We will put what used to be the join link for today will then become the recording. If you have any questions, you can always contact Gail. And the evaluation is at the end of the flyer, and after the conference today, you just need to fill that out and you can download your own CEUs for the day to use for relicensure. Let us know if you have any trouble. There's a tech host in every session who can help you out. That's it. We want you to go refill your warm beverage, get ready to learn at 9:30. You'll use the flyer to navigate to your first session in just a few minutes. We just dropped the flyer, and sometimes there's so many people trying to get into that Google Doc at once that it's a little clunky. So there's a copy of the flyer too. So if you're having trouble getting into one, try the other and you'll be able to navigate to your first session. You will no longer use this link. You'll use the links in the flyer to get to every workshop throughout the day. Let us know if you have any questions. Otherwise, enjoy the conference. Thank you so much for being here.